Good morning and welcome to Wake Up Nigeria this beautiful Thursday morning. It's so good to know you're right there watching us. We're super excited because it's Artsy Thursday. Don't try to look like a work of art. I'm sure you do too. I'm so excited to be here this morning and I'm not alone. And Mike are in the studio. They're just hovering around. I don't know, Mike seems to be meditating. I wonder what's going through his mind right now. But it's all good. It's all good. Remember, you can watch us live from absolutely anywhere across the world. Just make sure you download the TVC app on Android or iOS. You can also stream the show live at TVC Entertainment on YouTube or at TVC Entertainment _ on Facebook. Which takes us to the fact that you can follow us across all social media platforms as well. Just use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC at TVC Entertainment _ That is the handle to look out for. My name is Mary Bashua Alimi, and this morning we have a lot of stuff lined up for you, and I'm pretty sure you're looking forward to hearing what they are. So let's tell you what we have in store for you this morning. All right, so this morning we definitely are going to be having art display, you know, checking out artworks and all. But first, let's take a look at the fact that tech discussion will be on the show this morning. Okay. So many things happening
today, right?
Today, in fact, there's a lot to talk about.
My darling, last night...
I was going to welcome you guys. It's even true, sir. Let's start with welcoming MM. MM, why are you looking like... What's on your mind? You look like...
I don't feel well, actually.
Bele.
I don't. Yeah. I woke up last night, at about 10 p.m. I started feeling hot inside. You know that feeling of, you know, you're just sweating profusely. And I was feeling really hot inside. Yeah, but hey, we do this show for you guys every single day, whether we are ill or not. We try to put a smile on your face.
No matter condition. How about you, Mike?
The big one is that I don't know why people are shocked that October is about ending and it's already just 2 months to the end of the year, yeah? It's 24th of October, so...
People are shocked.
Are people shocked?
There's one
I've been looking forward to the year end, though.
You've been looking forward to it?
Because this year has been really busy.
I mean, I like the activities, to be honest. There were a lot of expectations for the year.
And I'm not even talking about activity, like, just too many things happening.
Too many things happening.
Financially, even emotionally in some cases, psychologically. So many people are walking around dazed right now because they are wondering what next.
I think this year has been a year of, I've been on a self-discovery journey. I observed that this year I'm evolving. This year I say I'm like water. You know, I'm just flowing and just, you know, just fluid and just evolving and I'm loving it.
That's a good thing. You know what's funny? This morning I woke up and I don't know, I had like 1 million messages running through my head.
Why?
In fact, when I was on the drive down to the office, I was just posting stuff on Twitter, on X. That's why I use post, not tweeting. I was posting stuff on X because a lot of things were running through my mind. There are things that I usually have stuff running through my mind, but it's been long since I posted. But then this one, I just could not resist.
What did you post?
Quite a number of things. The fact that people are naturally selfish. It took me forever to finally get to that point.
Wow.
Yes.
Welcome
So all
to
my life,
world.
I've always looked at people holistically. Even when people do things wrong, I always look at it that, okay, there's a reason behind their action. But now I've just realized that the main reason is
themselves.
Selfishness.
Well, I think that's the natural.
Yeah, self-preservation
Yeah.
it shows in different ways. So it's just that when somebody does some things, that means the person goes, in quote, against the grain. To some people, it might be different. Some people, some things come easier to them. Depends on how you grow up, the kind of environment you grew in. Did you grow in a loving environment? did you grow in a place
In
where
a
you had
toxic
to
environment,
fight
abuse,
to
yeah,
live?
to live,
Yeah.
yeah.
So when you grew up in that kind of way,
Survival.
you see everything like a
Yeah,
hammer,
yeah.
like a nail. So you know, so there's a lot on where the person grew, how the person grew, what are the circumstances, and then that defines the human being.
You know, it's funny you mentioned this because one of the tweets the post I made on X was, everybody is actually ambitious because we are all fighting to survive, and that's ambition enough.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's not the skill that differs.
Yeah.
that differs.
But then everybody is at least, the ambition is to live and survive. At this point, we have to check out the weather. We'll be back soon with the news. Time for the news update on Wake Up Nigeria. I am Mary Bashua Alimi. Now we begin from the presidential villa following President Bola Tinubu's announcement of a reshuffle in his cabinet. The president sacked 5 ministers, nominated 7 persons to head different ministries in his cabinet. He also reassigned 10 ministers to other ministries. State House correspondent Femi Akonde has more in this report.
President Bola Tinubu's first Federal Executive Council meeting after his 2-week working leave threw up a bit of surprise. But it was also highly anticipated. A cabinet reshuffle that will reposition the administration at a time when approval ratings appeared to have dipped. 5 ministers were relieved of their appointment and 7 more nominated as ministers, while several others were reassigned portfolios within the federal cabinet. President Bola Tinubu scrapped the Ministry of Niger Delta and approved the creation of the Ministry of Regional Development that will oversee affairs of all regional development commissions in the country. The Ministry of Sports Development was also taken out. Likewise, the Ministry of Tourism that has now been merged with the Ministry of Arts, Culture and Creative Economy. Also, after a 10-month vacuum, the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation will finally get a minister, following the sack of Betta Edu in January.
The Federal Executive Council has taken a decision to take that Ministry of Tourism out and the functions of that ministry be transferred to a new ministry called the Ministry of Arts, Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy. The President and members of Council today took a decision to rename that ministry so that all these other regional bodies will come under this new Ministry of Regional Development.
The minister of the defunct Ministry of Niger Delta made some clarifications regarding the nomenclature of the new Ministry of Regional Development, insisting it is without prejudice to the Niger Delta region.
For our people over there in the Niger Delta region, I would like them to know that that has not removed anything from them. The NDDC is still very much in place, which is still under the Ministry of Regional Development, and all other such agencies are there. It's just a question of change of nomenclature. That is what has been done. And I wouldn't want anybody in that region to begin to feel that the Ministry of Niger Delta has been scrapped and is no more in existence.
The cabinet reshuffle may be part of recommendations submitted in a report by Hadiza Bala Usman, Special Advisor to the President on Policy and Coordination. She is saddled with the responsibility of appraising the performance of the ministers. Hadiza Bala Usman launched the Citizens Delivery Tracker app, which is the first digital app that empowers citizens to rate ministries, departments and agencies. It is unclear the kind of impact citizens had in the process or if their input influenced the decision to retain or sack ministers. In the coming days, the list of the 7 newly nominated ministers will be sent to the Senate for screening. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
And that's it on the news update for this hour on Wake Up Nigeria. We have so much more to come. Just stay with us. Right.
So the lips don't sweat.
They don't sweat.
And no, there are some lips that have pimple.
And the hips don't lie. No, they said if it has pimple, that is herpes. So
It's herpes. Oh, yes, because I know that there are some, yeah, there are some bumps on the mouth I see at different times. And yes, like you said, sometimes I know that malaria causes some...
So
They said it's
blisters.
not malaria.
Different things cause different things. That's why they say don't Google your symptoms.
I see.
Be very careful. Don't Google. Go to if you're not feeling
medical
fine, go to a
practitioner.
medical practitioner. Let them diagnose you, because if you Google your symptoms,
you could die faster than the illness.
In fact, the headache you have is already cancer. Let's start from there. Oh, what Google does,
I'm telling you.
You go to the hospital sometimes and some people are Googling in front of the doctor. I had to argue with the doctor to make a point. I don't even understand.
yeah, you know, at times I feel like, you know, yes, we've gone to the point where we have smart devices and everything, and everybody information is readily available. And so it's okay if people now want to even douse professionals. And I would say that, look, no matter what, you might talk about the death of the brain drain, that's talking about people living and all about that, talk about the incompetence of some people, but at least if somebody has spent some time to do something, give the person the benefit of the
Yes,
doubt.
it's just like the way, okay, so you find some things, there will always be information. It takes a medical professional to sift the correct one for you because they know the right thing. It's even like translation, for example. So when I'm translating from French or Portuguese to English, people will tell me that, is it not Google Translate? Well, guess what? Google will not give you the tenses. Google will not construct the sentences right for you. And you could try it by imputing something in your local language, and you put it there and ask Google to translate it to English. That's when you will know that Google doesn't give you the tenses.
Oh, yeah, maybe, you know, so yeah, that one does happen.
Okay, so yeah, I was actually going to talk about, I thought this was overflogged until it came up again, and I'm like, seriously, are we still doing this? The issue of who owns the front seats.
Okay.
Is it the mother-in-law or the wife or the girlfriend, as the case may be? Since these days, people do
Let's say wife.
living
Because
relationships.
as far as the girlfriend is concerned, that's not your seat.
Oh, sorry, no vex. So, what's your thoughts on this, though? This front seat thing, who owns it?
Nobody. Nobody owns it. But going by the ideology or the laws or the principles that guides and protects the marriage institution, also that borders on what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. We have come to realize that in this time, or in these times, right, we see mother-in-laws who use it as a way of instigating some sort of, violence, or instigating some sort of animosity or subdominance or superiority against their daughter-in-laws that, oh, it's my son, it is my space, this can me own am. This house, it's me that owns it. It is not you. Now you borrow come. Now, conversations around the wife, they say the wife and the husband do not have any blood connection. They're only connected by law. Yes, now. And that is why there are conversations around, a husband choosing his children over his wife.
Yeah. I'd said that I know to digress a little bit, I remember when I mentioned that thing that when people spoke about how the connection of blood is the strongest. When I said, I remember mentioning that the people who connected you by that blood are not connected by blood. So it's just funny how all of things go. But making a reference to that, there's that particular video that has, if it's that particular video that's been making arounds where a man was going out, and then the wife, I think the wife had already gotten into the front seat.
Yeah.
And then the mother comes in and she says something like, oh, she can't go, she can't.
She practically confronted the girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, she practically confronted the daughter-in-law.
Yeah, and for me, she did the best. She just stood up and
went to her car.
Went to her own car, really now.
She walked
back or something and all of that. And then the man just went ahead, put the mom inside, closed the door, went away, and all of that. It's quite dicey, and dicey when I say this because of in that particular scenario. Of course, if it's me, I would have my wife there. My mom would sit behind. In fact, there's even more respect for me, and my mom would sit behind, even if it's a girlfriend. But Now, you are thinking about in that particular scenario where the mom took the initiative and went ahead. So if he comes and she has already displaced the wife now,
What did you do about it?
exactly, what do you want the man to do now? It starts going down to what's your relationship with the mom.
So,
Because the man is thinking now, as at that moment, he's not just seeing a woman who birthed him, he's seeing experiences. So now he's thinking of, in the first place, now in his mind, he's thinking, if this woman sacrificed for me, what
I
if
was going there.
he did a lot for me to this thing? In this kind of scenario, these are the few things that she might want to enjoy, even if I want to. So there's that thing that, okay, this woman might have done a lot for me. We know how you women, our mothers are. When it comes to the children, if there is nothing to eat, the mother will not eat, let the child eat. Although, but that's why I still wonder about that story that we read about how women were sharing their children. I don't know how bad the hunger will be. Yeah, in the Bible there's a story like that of famine. I don't know how bad the hunger will be that a mom would decide to eat their kids. Because the moms I know would rather starve and let the kids eat.
Yeah, but I guess they were also, if you think about it critically, right, you could also say that maybe they also felt that, well, I'm also going to have more kids.
So, but in this scenario, like I'm saying, so in that scenario, the man is not choosing the mom over the wife. He's choosing
his experiences,
his life.
See,
You know,
be it
it's
experiences,
kind of dicey or something.
be it whatever. I know I may be termed weird, but to me, this issue is the least of marital problems. I've never understood the reason people, to me, fib over little
Start
things.
a lot of fire. This thing.
See, I know so many people are going to go, oh, come off it. It's the man should know that his wife comes first now. Look, and I'm saying this confidently because this is what I believe in. Nobody can come between a man and his mom.
mother.
And nobody can come between a woman and her mom too. Look, everybody should just let
Then
things
again,
be.
I don't feel like it's even easier for someone to come between a woman and
be
her
it
mother
a woman
than
and
the
her mom
husband,
or
the
a woman and her dad. The reality is this. It is not a big deal. These things are just temporary. What if the woman is visiting for a short period? Even if she's living with you people, now front seats.
Yeah, but maybe
no. See, let me break this thing down.
Okay.
Because every time I hear it, I'm sorry. I know for men, women is different. But every time I hear it, I feel like it's much ado over nothing. There are bigger marital issues than who sits in front and who sits at the back. If my mother-in-law comes and says, it is the front seat, by all means, I will even stretch well in the back seats. What's all this? And then all these things, if she wants to even share a bed with her son, fine. You want to cuddle him again? Hello? Are you not his mother? Please do whatever you want to do. Because the truth is, parents, we forget that as we are growing older, these people are also growing even older.
Right.
They have just a short period. You can say your mother-in-law will be alive for 10 years and she's gone within 2.
Mother-in-laws are troublesome.
They are, yes, right. They are. But sometimes you just avoid that trouble.
Then the response, how the husband and the son responds to that situation actually tells a lot about the underlying issues.
Wisdom on all ends. But you see this cow, no? In fact, just leave them with the cars.
Like, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. I'd like to hear from you. Go on a quick break, guys. The show continues. And we're back. Thanks for staying with us. With me in the kitchen this morning is Chef Prince. He calls us a POG. Yeah. What does POG mean?
Rings on good.
Ooh. On God. So this morning we are eating food on God.
On good, yeah.
Nice. So this morning, guys, he's taking us to Akwa Ibom State, where we'll be having edikaikong soup. When was the last time you had edikaikong soup? Now I'm asking myself that question. When was the last time I had edikaikong soup? I don't remember. Even growing up, to be honest, I didn't like eating edikaikong soup because we used to run away from vegetables a lot. But you see afang, definitely it must have, even till today. So let's talk about the ingredients for our edikaikong.
All right. Yeah, here we have periwinkle. I know many people don't like this, but this is very, very proteinous. It's very, very rich. And we have our world-famous vegetable and water leaf. We have pepper, garlic and the onions. And we have crayfish. We have a pomo, we call it cow skin. Then we have stock and our normal fish.
Okay. And then this other?
We have seasoning and salt. Then we have oil.
Palm oil.
Oil, yeah.
Now, I see ginger and garlic.
Yep.
So these are two herbs that
Oh, we
I
have
would
cinnamon
never
too.
use. Oh, cinnamon.
Yep.
Okay. Now, this is an Edikai Kong with a twist because first off, right, we have garlic and ginger.
Yeah.
I wouldn't normally use garlic and ginger for my soups. I'd rather
Okay.
use it for continental dishes like maybe rice or even in my beans
Or your
or
pepper
any other
soup.
meal.
Oh.
But soup, it's a no-no.
Okay.
So I am sort of considering, I mean, I can't wait
Okay.
to see how, to feel, you taste it and,
Yeah, yeah.
feel the taste of and the role it plays. That's the ginger and the garlic in the soup. And then cinnamon.
Cinnamon, yeah.
How come?
Yeah,
Are we
okay.
having this with swallow or with rice?
We're having with swallow.
What kind of swallow? Hey, loy loy. POG. Wow, wow. This guy didn't come to play here this morning, guys, just so you know. But if you're just joining us, you are welcome. Chef POG is with me in the kitchen this morning, and he's making Edikai Kong soup. I would call this seafood Edikai Kong because you're using a lot of protein, you're using a lot of fish. We have stock fish here, we have dry fish here, and we have this, what do you call this fish?
In my hometown, we call it ibat, but I don't know what they call it in English.
Ibat.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys that this particular fish, there's a taste that it gives to you, there's a certain flavor, rather, that it gives to your soup. Oh, my God.
It's a very rich fish.
Oh, it is. It is. It's not so expensive, but that flavor would make it would make your head spin, literally. Like, I'm not even joking, right? So where do we begin?
Yeah, we begin by, we put this one on fire first.
Okay.
Started boiling it with pepper and salt. Then after I wash my
Proteins,
yes,
right?
I add them to it. Allow it to boil
Okay.
some time. Then I wash my water leaf, then I add it to it
Okay.
some time.
So do you allow them slice your water leaf or your vegetables
I slice them
in the
myself.
market, or you slice them yourself?
Slice them myself.
Oh, nice, nice. And then usually, just so you know, there's a trick with working or using periwinkles. First, you have to cut them, right? You have to cut off the bottom of the periwinkles. Periwinkles are really small, though. So first, you have to, so you have to first cut the bottom of it, cut it off. So then it's easier to suck out the periwinkle inside of it. Yes, I love periwinkles. And then before you put it into your soup, you have to cook it like you're steaming your fish or your meats first before you put it into the soup. And then you have to wash it after cooking it before you use it in your soup. But we are going to begin the process for Edikai Kong this morning. Don't worry, we're not doing this without you. But we'll take a break now and head over to the couch. We have an interesting conversation with Mary. I meant a break in the kitchen. Relax, guys. We're still here with you.
I'm actually anticipating tasting MM's Edikai.
Even
The way
if
she was talking about it, you can hear the expertise in the description. Like, correct. Okay, let's not go there. It's time for us to have a conversation. Don't worry, I'm perfectly okay. It's World Mental Health Month after all. And today we will be talking about prioritizing mental health in the workplace. We're joined by Adeboyin Olukoya. She is a transformation talk therapist. It's so good to have you in the studio with us.
Good morning, Mary. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Goodness, you shine bright.
Oh, you're
I
well.
love the color.
Thank you so much.
My goodness, just seeing this mental health up,
oozing out.
But really,
Thank you so much.
let's talk about workplace, mental health in the workplace. People talk about mental health. This year, the focus was mental health in the workplace.
Absolutely.
So I'm wondering, when we talk about the workplace, the first that comes to mind is the employees.
Okay.
What effect has your employees' mental health got to do even on the organization?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, it is an awakening period, individually and collectively as a nation, to sound the alarm on mental health.
Yeah.
Because it's absolutely on the rise right now. And a lot of people are stigmatized and discriminated, so they don't have the opportunity to speak out. So most times when an employee is affected by a mental health challenge, you see them withdrawn. They don't associate often. Their societal characterization is just off. So there are so many things going on in their minds. And you know, sadly but truly, employers have one way or the other crashed and crushed the dreams, the aspiration, the passion of some employers in their workplace, knowingly or unknowingly. Because sometimes you see employees, they don't have the confidence they usually have prior to when they got into the organization.
Yeah.
You understand? So there are so many things going on. And you know, most times, what employee needs is just an interesting work environment, you know, being recognized for a good job done, and also letting them know the things that are going on in the organization. But so to speak, those things are not happening anymore. So the World Health Organization and World Federation of Mental Health says it is time to prioritize mental health in the workplace. You know, when you have a personal wellness, you can extend it to your workplace.
Yeah.
But peradventure, an employer is not giving that employee that opportunity to explore the wellness individually or extend it to their colleagues, their teammates, and all that, then there's a problem, you know? So what we're trying to do, and majority of the employees that have come to undergo their private lessons on Talk Therapy Hub, we run a Talk Therapy Hub, so a lot of them are saying that they do not have a healthy workplace environment. So how do we curb all of these things? It is so pivotal. We need to strike the chords, and as a matter of fact, things need to get better. So how can you now then prioritize your workplace wellness as an employee? I tell my clients, you need to prioritize. There is no bargain about your mental health. The wellness in you starts from your mind. And it perambulates your body everywhere, top to toe. So you cannot bargain your mental health. You cannot. So what do you need to do? First of all, I tell them, take a break. If you're in an office environment, if you're watching me right now and you haven't taken a break, you need to take a break.
Sometimes that time away goes a long
Do you
way.
get, if you do not observe your break time, you will break down. That's the need for a break. You know, and human resource department, sometimes they don't help. You see a human resource manager telling the employee, I need that project lunchtime. Why would you want to let an employee, your colleague, proffer solution to you at lunchtime? Lunchtime is lunchtime. Take a break. Because you would have to burn out. It's a time to recoup. It's a time to walk around. It's a time to have communication with your colleagues, your team members, and all that. So if you'll be walking around the clock all of the time, you need to take a break to assimilate a breath of fresh air. So that's one of the things you can do as an employee to prioritize mental health in your workplace. Another thing I'd like to touch is setting clear boundaries.
Setting clear boundaries.
Exactly. You need to set your boundaries. Setting boundaries doesn't make you a difficult person. It only gives you power to command your space. Absolutely. And you wouldn't let somebody infiltrate your space anyhow. Yeah. For me, I find that very discourteous. If I'm not welcoming you, I'm not giving you the go-ahead to come to my space, that means you're being impolite about it. So you need to set clear boundaries. Do not take the work from work to the house. Let work be in the workplace.
And let the home be
the home be, you preach sanity, clarity, vitality, all of these things put together. It's very important. Set clear boundaries. Employees, it doesn't make you less of a human. If you cannot do something at an appropriate time, it's okay to say no, but don't be rude about it. That's what I say to my clients.
Prioritize, set clear boundaries.
The
What
first
else?
one, take a break.
Take a break, prioritize, set clear boundaries.
Set clear boundaries. And yes, we've been saying this, you need to eat. Yeah, Ebem is right there. Handling the afang aspect of today. You know, eat good food. Yeah, it could be a cliche, but we need to constantly remind people to eat healthily. You know, having a healthy lifestyle is very contagious.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't be the one always looking forward to people saying that, oh, you look good. Be a carrier of a healthy lifestyle yourself. Do you understand? So when people see you, the same compliment you give to people
You look
can
good.
be returned.
Like, you look good.
Thank you so much. You look absolutely well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you,
so
yeah.
these are actually important points, and I'm so glad you're here to share them with us. Thank you so
Yes.
much for your time.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much
Thank you.
indeed.
Thank you, Mary.
At this point, we have to take a break. You are watching Wake Up Nigeria. Just stay with us. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back and thank you for staying with us. We've got our art display. Israel Benamasia, a prolific artist and designer and alumni of the Yaba College of Technology, Lagos, Nigeria. Now, over the years, he has gone from studio practice to art administration of the National Gallery of Art, where he was responsible for the management of the country's national art collection, to full-time studio practice. He has also held solo exhibitions as well as participated in countless group exhibitions. It is great to have you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, I'm excited to talk to somebody who was in administration when it comes to our national arts, because there's a lot of questions I want to ask us concerning that.
Really?
But just before I get to that, let's talk about you as a person, as an artist. How did you develop, you know, the desire, the zeal, the enthusiasm for the arts? How did it develop for you?
Well, I never really set out to be an artist growing up, but it was always in me. That passion was there. You know, I was always drawing and painting. And, you know, it was with me all along and developing on its own. And then when I finished high school, I said I'll then enroll and study art for maybe 1 or 2 years because I had my eyes set on something else. But then one thing led to another. I ended up finishing, you know, studies in art and graduated as an artist.
Wonderful. And this is where you are. You have done, what is your mode of expression when it comes to art? How would you describe yourself when it comes to specialization of an artist? What part do you enjoy doing the most?
I enjoy painting a lot, painting. I paint with oils.
Okay.
I paint with acrylics. I paint with all the mediums. Yes, yes.
There's no medium that speaks to you more than the others. There's no one you can relate with more than the others.
I'd say oil and acrylics.
Okay.
They're a bit similar. It's just that, you know, like oil, like the name implies, is oil-based, you know, pigments.
Okay.
Pigments that are driven with oil. You know, the pigments are soaked in oil, and then the acrylics are water-based. You use
them.
Yes, you use water as solvent for.
What medium was this, and what are let's talk about this one directly in front of us here.
These two are acrylic paintings.
The acrylic paintings,
yeah, both acrylics.
All right. Well, what's the title? Do they have a title?
Yes.
Okay. Talk to us about it.
The framed one is called Sally's House.
Sally's House.
Yes,
Okay.
and it's a depiction of a scene from rural Katsina. That was where I did my youth service.
Oh.
And one day we went for, you know, these usual youth service symposiums.
Okay.
And then I saw this scene. I saw the donkey. No, actually, it was a cow that I saw. But that day I wasn't prepared. I didn't have any sketching materials. So fortunately for me, the seminar was to continue the next day. So I went there armed with my paper and pencil and then did a sketch.
An outline or
Yes,
something while you were there.
Yeah, did a sketch of the scene. Funny enough, when I got back there, the cow was gone, and it was a donkey that was there.
Okay.
So that's the donkey.
That's the donkey that's there. All right, that's one. How about this other one?
Okay, this one is a bit of an imaginative
Piece. Okay.
imaginative work of, what we call a seamstress, a tailor. Yes, it was inspired by, the kind of commitment that artisans have, the long hours that they put in to, do their work. I could easily relate with it because I spend a lot of hours in the studio working, Solitude is a very strong part of, working in the arts. We spend very long hours in the studio, meditating, contemplating on, how to convey moods or emotions in our work.
Wonderful,
Yes.
wonderful. Now let's talk about, before we get to this piece, let's talk about when you were in art administration. As a country, we've been, African art, as it were, is something that it seems that even those who are not, how do I put it now? Those who don't have the art seem to appreciate it more. That's why you see, growing up, I would go to art museums and galleries, and then I would see how unkept some of these art were, unkept, and in fact some of them were in very dilapidated states. But then you travel outside the country, and then you see, the Benin art, the Benin works and all of that, kept there, and then they are taken care of so well. And then we go there, and then there is art tourism, as it were. They use it to make money. In fact, at different points in time, we've had to call out to return some of them and all of that. Even the ones they have returned, we don't even see them have prominence when it comes to the display. Since these things were returned and all of that, how would you say, how did we get to this point whereby we ourselves don't get to appreciate what we have? And it seems like the value of the art is given much more by how much the Western world appreciates that art.
I think it's the priority that is placed on art by mainly the government. The kind of priority, the kind of people that they hire to manage the sector. Like take the National Gallery for example. I often say to people that we have a national collection, but we don't have a national gallery, which is true. Sad, some people might not like my saying it, but that's a fact. Most of the national collection is in storage right now because we don't have a national gallery. Yes. And if government were to wake up that sector, I'm happy that, the news that I heard yesterday, that the government has scrapped the Ministry of Tourism and has taken it back to, or merged it with the Ministry of Culture, because what that will do is it will ginger more activity in that ministry, because having a national gallery, what it will do if we have a purpose-built national gallery, what it will do is it will create a destination on its own for tourists. Every country, like you said, has, a national gallery. We don't have a national gallery building in Nigeria. We don't. And I don't think there's any state in Nigeria that can boast of, owning a state gallery. So there lies a problem. There lies a problem.
Wow. I wish
lack of funding
and all of that.
Interests.
This is quite expository. I wish we had more time to talk about this, but thank you so much for what you're doing, and keep it up. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
Glad to be here.
All right, let's head over to the kitchen now. What's happening?
Oh, okay. Yes, interesting art displays right there. Well done, sir. Welcome to the kitchen, guys. With me is Chef POG.
Yo.
Right. Yo, I love it when you say that. And this morning, guys, he's making a dikai kong soup. I know. There's this sound. You see this soup needs to be said with pristine. You just don't say it anyhow. Do you understand?
Famous.
Yeah, it's a very famous soup. But it's funny how it sort of just subtly went extinct. It's not as popular as it used to be anymore.
I'm not sure.
It's not as popular as it used to be anymore.
It's the most popular soup.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, which one?
I think afang has even become more popular than edikaikong. As children, edikaikong was more popular.
Okay.
Right, but now it feels like afang soup has become more popular.
Yeah, because this side, this west, they are just getting used to the afang soup.
Yeah.
We grew up with it.
Exactly, we grew up, exactly. And that's because we are from the same place. So we can easily relate with, you know, our parents would rather have us eat edikaikong soup than afang soup. Because growing up, they would tell us that afang soup would suck your blood if you eat too much of it.
Heat.
Yes, because of the heat. But edikaikong is packed with vegetables that are rich in iron, rich in vitamins, rich in minerals that, you know, helps to, you know, with your immune system. It helps to, you know, build you up. It helps to also for children as well. You know, it has nutrients that your body needs. Interesting stuff. I know I've turned into a nutritionist suddenly, right? So let's get right into our edikaikong and our ingredients. So let's run through the ingredients once again and then tell us where we at. Let's go.
Okay, so now I've done washing my periwinkle.
So talk to us about what you did. You did something to this periwinkle. They
Yeah,
need to understand what you did.
Like I put it on fire. I cook it for a bit, like 3 minutes or so.
Okay.
Now I want to add it to my protein so that they will steam
Everything
together.
will cook together. Aha. Now I need you guys to see the wonder that is happening right here. So tell us what's happening here.
Okay, like now these are my protein and I'm having them cooked.
Okay.
So I want, like,
So what's in the pot?
this is the fish and the stockfish.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then is the pomo in there
There's
as well?
pomo in there.
Aha.
Yeah.
So did you add any seasoning? Nothing at all, just the
Nothing,
proteins.
yeah.
Okay, so we are going to wait for that to cook.
Yep.
And then we are going to put this in right now, right?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. I see what Chef Prince is doing right now. He's building flavors, right? You're building flavors. That's what you're doing. Because
This is the process.
this is the process. But you're also building flavors because imagine the flavor from the fish, the pomo, the stockfish.
Yeah.
Everything is just going to marinate together and then, okay, so what's next? Now that you've put in the periwinkle, what's
Yeah,
next?
I'll allow it to like boil for like 2 or 3 minutes. then
Okay.
prepare some of my ingredients like my pepper, onions, garlic, and ginger.
When does the garlic and ginger go in? I'm
They're
curious.
going in after.
Once that is cooked.
Yeah, that is cooked.
Okay. So once our periwinkle, dry fish, stockfish, and pomo is properly steamed, we are going to put in the pepper, onions, garlic, and ginger, right? When does the cinnamon go in though?
At the same time with these ones.
Oh, okay. And then the oil.
Water leaf, no. The water leaf.
Then the water leaf first.
Yeah, then the oil.
Then the
leaf
palm
will
oil.
come last.
Then the ugu will come last. Oh, nice. I am so elated, guys, about this morning's recipe. I can't wait for it to be ready. And that's because I've not actually had edikaikong with ginger and garlic in it. So I can't wait to, and cinnamon as well. I can't wait to, you know, feel that flavor busting out of our edikaikong soup when it's finally ready. But hey, guys, we are right at the top of the hour. The show continues shortly. Stay with us.
Good morning, beautiful people. We hope you're feeling charged up because the next 45 minutes is about to take you on a roller coaster, shall I call it, robe of amazing content. A grateful heart is the key to unlocking the abundance that the day has in store for you. And on that gratitude note, we'd like to say thank you for sticking with us. Cooking with us, enjoying our wholesome content. You are the wind beneath our wings. And talking about wings, there are no wings in the kitchen this morning, but there's a lot of cooking going on. Edikaikong. I really want to get this particular recipe. I'm very interested in it. I like the way MM was describing. MM, I wonder, will you share your recipe with me? Huh? Okay, you know what? Let's talk about that later. Now, besides that, I should let you know my name is Mary Bashua Alimi. And this morning, I need you to don't forget to share your moments with us. Just use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC, and that's across all social media platforms, so we can make this journey count together. Now, remember, you can follow us at TVC Entertainment _. And for our people on the go, keep the energy going by tuning in live through our mobile app, which is available on both Google Play Store and iOS. And if you're right here in Nigeria, just switch to GOTV channel 16 or UHF band 49. We're bringing the joy straight to your homes. Yes. And yes, we can't wait to tell you what we have in store for you at this hour. Okay? Yeah. We've got, I'd like to call it an incredible lineup left. We start off this hour with tech. We already had a tech discussion. We are going to have the tech discussion, rather, and it's on the future of YouTube and influencing. Yes, future of YouTube influencing. I've got that's Human versus AI with Frederick Namdi Bengbo, a smartphone business consultant and tech YouTuber. We're looking forward to that conversation.
All right, we've got tech coming right up here now, and this is something that might interest quite a number of you. The rise of influencing via YouTube is something that is to be spoken of because of the money people can earn. So a number of people have got into YouTube to, you know, become YouTubers, as it were, lifestyle YouTubers, tech YouTubers, entertainment YouTubers, and all of that. But recently, there's been a rise on the integration or the use of artificial intelligence when it comes to YouTubing. Frederick is back here in the house, and we're going to be talking about that. This is great to have you. You're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Now, YouTube, as it stands, is seen by a number of people as an avenue by which people can make money. Yeah. I mean, people are going into it different ways, earning foreign currency and all of that. But, like we mentioned now, AI has come in. I've seen a lot of channels that don't even have faces in quote. Yeah. What you see is a lot of generated images, even down to the voiceovers and all of that. Is this legal on YouTube? How does one do it? Is it something that you can do and still earn money like somebody else who shoots a video and all of that? Talk to us about all of that.
All right, evolution of AI. You know, I always say that AI is interested in every human aspect, in every area of life. AI is interested in it, and YouTubing, in quotes, is not left out, all right? But then incorporating or integrating AI into YouTubing or YouTube influencing has actually made the work quite easier. I got on YouTube in 2020. Now, since then, before like last year when AI started coming in full, to make a full video, like 10 minutes video, right? Except if you just want to do anything. But if you're an expert, you know how to do all of those things, right? It will take me at least 7 days to complete because there are different stages that, you know, you go through to finally be able to publish a video on YouTube. I'll mention them. The research, where you get to research the topic you want to talk about on YouTube, you script, all right? Then the next thing is now the shooting phase, all right? Then your editing, then your thumbnail, all right? And then you do the SEO, all right? That's the process of now uploading it so that it will be able to be found by anybody looking for that video, right? Now, this process, it could take me up to 7 days. I've heard Mr. B say it takes him up to 3 months to come up with one video.
Yeah, but his videos are mega.
Of course, because these are people that don't do anything less than 100 million views per video.
Per video, and right? I mean, he's putting in the budget. He's always wanting to do something out of it.
But now, bringing in AI, all right, I can now go to, for instance, ChatGPT and say, hey, I'm making a video about YouTube influencing. Give me a script, you know, do the research for me and everything. And in no time, you have a script. Now, you could also go on to, can you guide me through the process of shooting the video? You have everything. All you need to do is to, you know, turn on your lighting and everything. But then you talked about people that now use faceless channels. I've seen faceless channel that starts a channel in 3 months, they have done 1,000 and the channel is already even monetized.
Yeah.
Right? Is it legal? Now, there is a problem that YouTube had initially about how do we even get to distinguish between AI-generated videos and real videos? There's a video I saw on Facebook, like, wait, is this AI? Because it's getting so real, right? Yeah. So YouTube did something recently. They introduced, a feature where you have to actually indicate that this video is AI generated. Whether it's the voice, right, or the person in the video, or the images, just indicate, and then they will now, this video has been altered by AI. Now, this doesn't actually affect the monetization on that channel. If I'm not doing that, it's now where your channel can be at risk of being clamped down if they get to find out, right? So the bringing in AI into YouTubing is actually like something that's been used to make the process a lot easier. Like some people that are shy of the camera can now actually run a successful YouTube channel without ever even buying one single ring light. You see, because from making a video of a person, an AI-generated person, to images, to voice, to everything, AI can literally automate the whole process for you. And all you need to do is just sit and
how far, if you look into the future, generally now, not just only on YouTube, talking about AI generally, how far do you think this will go? I know we've spoken about AI taking jobs. Now people, AI can copyright. Like you said, AI can do research. Yeah. These are things that normally one would employ a team for. Yeah. One person can sit down behind the system and get to do all of this now. How far do you think this can go? Do you think there's that talk about, Elon Musk now recently with the robots that he has put out, and then of course, with the driverless taxis and the driverless cars. How far do you think this can go? Where do you think it can get to the point where AI breaks out of that control, where we cannot control it? Because now it's all about control.
Yeah. This question is quite peculiar. That even what's his name, Elon Musk, may try to shy away from it, right? Well, if you watch a lot of sci-fi movies, right? You see a whole lot of, robots, AIs taking over the world and everything, okay? Well, in the future, I don't want to say it will happen, and I don't want to also say it won't happen, because it's actually not inevitable, right? It's not inevitable, so we just have to start getting ready for what could happen.
What could happen?
Because, if you look at some of these AIs, how good they are with different things.
That you're doing.
I typed, can you tell me something about me on ChatGPT? I was like, what did you just do? Because these things have access to the internet, and it gets to know every single person that his or her data
is available out there. Well, Frederick, this has been quite interesting. And like you said, we'll just get to see how it goes and see how we can adapt and live with it, because it is here. Thank you very much, Frederick. It was a pleasure talking to you. All right, well, hope you're able to pick one or two things there. We'll take a time out now. Stay with us. There's still a bit more to come on the show. Now we've got a book chat, and this one is quite interesting because, how do I put it now? Cross-disciplinary, that's how I'll call him. That's talking about Dr. Stephen Igete, a neurologist with over 12 years of experience in the field of neurology, who is also pursuing a career in emergency and critical care medicine. He's the author of the poetry collection, Mindflix. So that's why I said cross-disciplinary. A neurologist who is also an author. Now that's quite something. It is great to have you. You're welcome.
Thank you. And,
now, just before I go into the book here, where did you develop, or where did you know that you could write? Considering that, of course, you'd have to have had a science background for you to be a neurologist. How did you manage to put all of that together?
Okay, so thank you for having me on your program. So I think I started writing from when I was way back in secondary school. Yes. Yeah, I already knew that I would be a doctor. I had that mindset from, growing up as a child, because I was fascinated with human beings, human nature.
Okay.
At the same time,
it was about you, not your parents, that way?
No, it was about me.
Okay.
It was about me. But writing, I started writing from when I was in secondary school. I would just write a few lines and all of that. My friends liked them. And then I think that the whole thing really started full-blown the year before I entered medical school.
So while you were in medical school, were you still writing alongside?
Yes,
studying?
in my earlier years in medical school, I was writing from my preclinicals, that's what we call it. So basically from my 100 level to 300 level and then 400 level.
All right.
I did a lot of writing. But when it came to the core clinical, I think that's where it became really tough.
Tough, exactly.
Yes, and writing sort of slowed down.
All right. Okay, but you're back here with Mind Flakes, an anthology of very relatable poems written across decades. The body of work deals with subjects like depression, love, death, friendship, fate, and other issues of life. Let's talk about this. What was the inspiration behind Mind Flakes, putting it together?
Well, so the inspiration behind this anthology, I mean, is varied, because if you look at if you have the book and you go through the content, you're going to find very different topics, like you listed out. I delve into things that deal with nature, weather, health issues, depression, and how probably to handle stuff like that.
Stuff like that.
And at some point, I was bold enough to even do a body of romantic poems.
Yeah.
And then, yes, and then talking about faith and life in general. Is this where we all end up? Is there something hereafter?
Hereafter.
Yes, so
there's a question there. You know, incidentally, growing up, there's just this question that I always used to ask. When I was little, I didn't understand the meaning of it, but I would always ask, what's the essence of life? Why life? What are we doing with life and all of that? And this, when I look at the content that what you have here, What Has No Halo, that's the first poem, down to The Oracle, Lonely Lover, Nostalgia, Am I the One, Your Beauty, Pretty Damsel, down to What's the Peel, and then The Land of Answers. It really does cover a lot. What is your aim to somebody who picks this up? What do you want to achieve in the life of somebody who reads Mind Flakes?
wow, so that's a very good question. I want to trigger thoughts, especially when we're looking at things that have to do with existence. I want people to stop and think, you know, because there is this thing about waking up and then just joining the flow, and everybody is running the rat race. It's like clockwork. It's like so. But sometimes we need to pause and think: why are we here? What's the reason? Who am I? You know, stuff like that, so that you can then probably develop and own your own flavor. Because I believe that every human being is unique, and I think that when we are able to answer the question, who am I? What am I doing here? Then we can really add value and meaning to our own lives and to the lives of others.
Interesting. I like that. I like that. The Land of Answers. I don't know why it feels like I should talk about that particular one. That's the penultimate poem you have here, Land of Answers. What's that poem? What are you talking about in that poem?
Okay, Land of Answers is looking at, there are two main characters there. And then it had to do with someone who had a series of unfortunate events, you know, just thrown at him, you know. And, you know, sometimes life is like that. Unexpectedly, you're doing very well this moment, and then unexpectedly, a wave of unfortunate events just hit you, and that's what happened here. And then it got to a point where this person decided that, look, if I do not stop and think why all of this is happening to me, if I do not, you know, find out how to wriggle out of these unfortunate events, it might be the end of me. And then, but somewhere along the line, he decided that, you know what, even if I don't have the fortitude to deal with all of this, I believe, so this person believes that there is a life hereafter. He feels that at the end of it all, when I'm before my Maker, when I'm before my God, I will have answers to why all this happened to me.
Wow, Dr.
Something
Stephen,
like Job went through.
Dr.
You know.
Stephen, this is to say it is deep is an understatement. It makes for a good read, and I would want to recommend it. I'll go through it myself, and I think this is something that everyone can definitely learn from. Thank you very much. Well done for this.
Thank you.
All right, Dr. Stephen, it was a pleasure talking to you, and wishing you the best.
Same.
Well done.
Thank you
All right,
so much.
okay, that's it. Don't go anywhere. We'll take a very short time out. Now, when we get back, the beautiful Fadikemi Oluku will be here, of course, for our final chat.
And we're about to have a queen herself, the delectable. Oh, man. Words alone do not describe how I feel about her, but she's really dear to my heart. Fadikemi Olumide Aluko is a multifaceted professional known for her roles as an actor, lawyer, poet, author, and educational leader. Her journey into acting was influenced by her lifelong passion for storytelling and the performing arts. She has since participated in several productions, including Refuge, an African Magic original series, Blossom Season 2 on Showmax, and several soon-to-be-released Netflix, Prime Video, and YouTube film productions. Her latest work, The Presidency, a riveting political thriller, will be in the cinemas next year. We are super excited to have you with us.
It's so great to be back.
You have not only graced the movie scene, you have taken over with your elegance and your poise, you know. And, you know, the way you carry yourself with so much demure.
Thank you, my darling. Thank you so much.
Absolutely love
It's been
it.
a roller coaster.
It has.
Of just joy. It's such a joyous thing to have the opportunity to do what you love, you know? I'm sure you know.
Yes, I do. I do, because, I mean, I'm doing what I love.
Exactly. And I don't know if you've noticed that I'm wearing...
Yes, you are. You're wearing the brand.
Yes, I made sure I turned out in it today.
Oh,
I love
thank
it
you
so
so
much.
much.
You know, anywhere
Thank
I go,
you.
people want to borrow it or take it from me. And, you know, I always let them know
Thank you so much.
where I got it from. In case you don't know, she's a designer.
Thank
as well
you.
as many other things.
Thank
so,
you so much,
you know,
man.
I'm in good company.
Thank you. How is the, you know, I mean, the last time you were here, we talked about your first, that was in the African Magic series?
Yes, Covenant.
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 Right. And so far you have gone on to, you know, feature in a few other movies, series. How has that journey been?
Dozens. It's been a roller coaster. I don't use that word. I use that word
Intentionally.
In the sense that it's been a huge learning curve. I've been extremely busy. I'm very grateful to God for that, because that's not always the case with actors. In fact, I've come to find in these 2 years on the scene that a lot of actors suffer financially because of unsteady work, you know. So it's very important for actors to diversify
into other things,
their offering and their skill in order to make the very difficult ends in this country to meet.
True.
So God has been very, very kind, and that's not lost on me at all. You know, and the question for me has been, if God has graced you with these opportunities, how do you want to use them? You know, that's a very, very important question.
Yes, it is.
It starts with the craft itself, you know, always wanting to push the envelope, be the best that you can be in terms of an actor in performance, and then just using that agency socially to positively affect lives and affect positive change in society. So it's been joyful, very joyful. Not easy, but very joyful.
The movie industry doesn't seem to have, when it comes to all the roles, it's not in terms of the people, you know, in that space. There are not so many of them. It's just a small circle, and that's why you'd see a lot more of the RMDs, the Shafi Bello, the Shola Shobowale, the Fadikemis. It's just a really small circle. I mean, and then we have quite a large number of younger people who are, you know, dominating the industry and are doing so well.
Absolutely.
How does that make you feel in terms of inclusion?
Right. Well, ageism is a thing. You know, it happens in every other strata of society.
Right.
So Nollywood and acting isn't going to be an exception. But, you know, in life, when you're faced with something that seems to be a disadvantage, you try to make it work to your advantage. You know, and it really is a brilliant time to be in the industry, because now storytellers are really thinking outside the box. Sure. You know, we've been telling the same stories for decades, but all of a sudden, over the past, well, not all of a sudden, but over the past decade, there's been this, you know, slow bursting out into all sorts of magnificent genres and beautiful stories. And so it's an exciting time for everybody, whatever your age, to be totally honest with you. My heart goes out to actors that find it difficult to find work, because that's very common. It is. So, you know, you have, say, the top 10% who are very active, and then you have the remaining 90% who are not so active. And the talent doesn't necessarily lie within the 10%. So it's quite a maze, a difficult maze when it comes to actually making a living from your craft in Nigeria as an actor. I really want to emphasize that, because that's something that not many people know. When they see actors on social media, you know, putting their best foot forward and looking all glam, they don't necessarily know the hardships that actors often go through. But coming back to your question about age, I thought it was going to be a disadvantage when I started. But what I found is that because there are not as many older women who have this particular set of skills for performance, I tend to get more work than many of the, say, younger. Actors in similar situations.
Oh, fantastic. That's great. Let's talk about your latest project, The Presidency. Super excited about that one. Congratulations.
Thank you
played
so
the
much.
lead cast character in the movie, and it's very passionate to you or for you, because I mean, we are quite in an interesting time right here, especially when it comes to women's participation in leadership, in governance, and even taking up positions, you know, in different industries. We've seen a lot of women doing so well in other industries.
Indeed.
But in the politics and governance,
indeed,
it's still a struggle.
We're still playing catch up.
The percentage is very little.
Absolutely.
It's basically next to nothing.
Absolutely.
And then we have, the U.S. president-elect.
Yes.
She's Kamala Harris right now in the U.S. Anyway, just talk to us about the movie, The Presidency.
Well, I'm very, very excited about that movie. It all started when I was actually filming Covenant. And one of the directors that I met on that set told me about a story he had in his heart about a woman leader. And he told me this story, and I found it so amazing because I'd never heard anything like it. And then forgot about it. 2 years down the line, he comes back and says, okay, it's time, you know, which really, really gladdened my heart, because I play the lead role in a movie that is about women in leadership. And that's something that I feel we need to talk more about what that means for society and what that means for women in general. You were talking about the fact that the percentage of women leaders is very small, particularly in Nigeria. Why is that? I think those are the questions we should be asking ourselves. I mean, do we as a society feel that women don't have the capacity to lead? Sure. Or what is?
We will continue this conversation some other time. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, but it's always a pleasure having you. We'll continue the conversation in the kitchen, but we'll head over to the kitchen quickly. Our chef has made something very interesting.
Oh, we're cooking today.
Yes, he's taking us to Akwa Ibom. We're having edikaiko.
Fantastic.
So please.
Welcome.
This is, and this morning he's made for you fufu with edikaiko soup.
Yum, yum.
Right.
Edikaiko is one of my favorite soups.
Oh, is it?
Yes, but seconded to afang soup.
Yes.
The king of soup.
Yes, afang still remains. Yes,
if
it does. You know that afang is #1. So please enjoy.
Okay.
Taste.
Thank you so much.
Oh, that's
next. Wow. So saying this, they'll come for you.
Okay.
It looks good.
Yeah, it does.
Looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
It looks gorgeous. Let me just
And
dip
the
it
oil,
right
we're
in here.
very generous with that oil. As in, it's glistening, literally. I love it.
Really nice.
Okay. Please, it's all yours.
She actually did a little
Enjoy.
dance. Like,
Can I take it home?
Yes, it's all yours.
this is
No.
not made for.
So that I don't have to eat it like a lady, I can eat it properly.
Yes.
Yeah. It's delicious.
Oh, nice.
It's really delicious.
Well done. Well done.
Well
Thank
done.
you so much, Fadikemi.
Thank you.
We'll have to have you back here. We'll have to definitely have you
Definitely.
back
There's so
here.
much to talk about.
So much to talk about, I know.
So much.
All right, with this, we've come to the end of today's show. Thank you so much for always watching Wake Up Nigeria. Be sure to join us again tomorrow, bright and early, 7 a.m. Bye-bye.
Bye.